Hello everyone and welcome to Kiki Crochet. In this video we're going to learn how to crochet these beautiful two-layered flowers. Let's go ahead and see how to start. So I'm going to make my flower with gray yarn so it's more visible. It's going to be better to see on video. So we are going to start with our magic circle. So wrap the yarn around your two fingers once and bring it on the top left. Put your hook under the right yarn over the left and pull it over. Turn your hook around once, grab the left yarn and pull it through the loop. Now we're going to create a total of 6 half double crochet in the center of our magic circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Grab the yarn that you started your magic circle with and pull it tightly. Put your hook in the first half double crochet and work a slip stitch, chain 2, and now we're going to start creating the flower petals. So in each stitch we are going to be starting with a chain 2, 3 double crochet in the same stitch, 2 chains and slip stitch in the same stitch. Okay, so 2 chains, work 3 double crochet in the same stitch that we worked the slip stitch. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 2, put your hook in the same stitch and work a slip stitch. Now we are going to make a chain 1, and this chain 1 is going to help us in the next row to make the bigger flower petals to start the row with. Okay, so chain 1, put your hook in the next stitch and work a slip stitch. Chain 2 and work 3 double crochet in the same stitch. 1, 2, 3, chain 2 and work a slip stitch in the same stitch. Chain 1, put your hook in the next stitch, work a slip stitch and chain 2, 3 double crochet in the same stitch. 1, 2, 3, chain 2 and slip stitch in the same stitch. Chain 1, work a slip stitch in the next stitch. Chain 2, 3 double crochet in the same stitch. 1, 2, and 3, chain 2 and slip stitch in the same stitch. Chain 1, slip stitch in the next stitch. Chain 2, 3 double crochet in the same stitch. 1, 2, and 3, chain 2, slip stitch in the same stitch. And this is our 5th flower petal. Chain 1, work a slip stitch in your last stitch, and this is going to be our 6th flower petal. Chain 2, 3 double crochet in the same stitch. 1, 2, and 3, chain 2 and slip stitch in the same stitch. Now chain 1 and slip stitch right in here in the next stitch where the first chain begins, and this will help us in the row that we're about to start for the next flower petals. Okay, so now chain 3, 1, 2, 3, And what we're going to be doing in this row, we are always going to be chaining 3, and right in between of the 2 flower petals we have the chain 1. So you're going to be taking your hook from the back of the flower petal to the front, put your hook in the chain 1 and work a slip stitch. Okay, so I have my chain 3. I'm going to take my hook from the back of the flower petal right here in the front in the chain 1 space, and I'm going to work a slip stitch. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to go between the next 2 flower petals from the back, put your hook in the chain 1 space and work a slip stitch. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Between the next 2 flower petals, so from the back to the front, right in the chain 1 space, and work a slip stitch. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to go between the next 2 flower petals in the chain 1 space, work a slip stitch. Chain 3. Between the next 2 flower petals in the chain 1 space, work a slip stitch, and chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And this is our last flower petal in which we're going to work a slip stitch. So in the chain 1 space that I worked in the end, put your hook in there and work a slip stitch. Okay, so starting from here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flower petals. Now chain 1 after your last slip stitch, just chain 1. Okay, put your hook in the first chain 3 space and work a slip stitch. Chain 2 as we did in the previous flower petals. And now in every chain 3 space we're going to be working a total of 5 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 2 and work a slip stitch in the same chain 3 space. Chain 1, go ahead in the next chain 3 space and work a slip stitch. Chain 2, sorry, and work a total of 5 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chain 2 and slip stitch in the same chain 3 space. Chain 1, go into the next chain 3 space and slip stitch. Chain 2, 5 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chain 2 and slip stitch in the same chain 3 space. Chain 1, go ahead in the next chain 3 space and work a slip stitch. Chain 2 and 5 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 2 and work a slip stitch in the same chain 3 space. Chain 1, go ahead in the next chain 3 space and work a slip stitch. Chain 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 2 and slip stitch in the same chain 3 space. Chain 1, slip stitch in the next chain 3 space, and this is our last chain 3 because right in the next petal we see that we have created the big one. So chain 2 and 5 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 2 and slip stitch in the same chain 3 space. And now, because this is my last flower petal and I wanted to stand, well, see how it's kind of looping to the right? I want to work a slip stitch on the back side between this flower petal and the next one. So this flower petal becomes straight. Chain 1 and cut the yarn long enough because we're going to sew the flower on our sock. Okay, so open up your flower petals. And this is how our flower looks like. Now we're going to create the bubbly part in the middle. And I'm going to make that with fuchsia yarn. Start with your magic circle. And go ahead and work a total of 7 half double crochet in the center of the magic circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Grab the yarn you started your magic circle with and pull it tight. Put your hook in the first half double crochet for this row and work a slip stitch. Now, in order to for our work to become bubbly like this, what we're going to do is we're going to start row number 2 and we're going to create 1 single crochet in every stitch. So chain 1 and 1 single crochet in every stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and your last stitch, 7. Put your hook in the first single crochet for this row and work a slip stitch. Chain 1, leave a long tail because we're going to sew it on the flower. Pull the loop and tighten up. Now this is the right side of our work. Turn it upside down or inside out and go ahead and weave in the end for the magic circle. Now from where the yarn of the magic circle is coming out, we want to start sewing on the opposite side so the magic circle doesn't undo itself. Okay, and every time just tighten up the yarn. Cut the yarn. Turn it in the inside out again to have the right side of the stitches on the outer side. Okay, and this is how it looks like. Now we are going to attach this on our flower, and the way that we're going to do it is I am going to be sewing. We have a total of 7 stitches on the bubbly part and 6 stitches on our flower. So the last stitch we're just going to sew it in the first stitch again. So So all of the stitches are sewed in on our flower. So just take your needle and take it through the first stitch so the knot goes on the inside. And see how we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches. Just put your needle in the one stitch and take it out in the next one. Now put your needle in your next stitch from your bubbly part and see where the yarn is coming out. So I'm going to put my needle in the next stitch and take it out in the next one. Now put your needle in the next stitch from the bubbly part and see from where the yarn is coming out. So I'm going to put my needle in the next one and take it out the next stitch. Put your needle in the next stitch on your bubbly part and the next stitch on your flower. Next stitch on your bubbly part, the next stitch on the flower, and the last stitch on the bubbly part, and one more time through the first stitch of your flower. Okay, tighten it up. And this is how our flower looks like. So now take the fuchsia yarn in the back of your flower. Sew a knot. And weaving the end right here in the back loops of the double crochet of the first flower petals. Make sure that your yarn does not appear in the front of the flower. Okay, cut the yarn. Now I'm going to weave in the other end as well because I forgot. So I'm going to cut this yarn as well. At this point we've completed our flowers. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and if you liked the video, please press like and leave a comment. Thanks again. Bye bye.